I'm sure there are people with nice houses and jewels. They're just putting in material things. And they should be putting it back into the youth, into the future, because the youth is our future. Welcome to Protect the P.
Thank you
And
for having me.
you're more than welcome. I'm Dionne Webster-Cox, and I am the creator, the developer of Protect the P. And there are many Ps. And you're going to talk about your P before or after you tell us who you are. Right? That's the first thing you got to tell. Who are you? Oh, you judged on today? I guess you always judge.
If I'm not, then it's like, I'm like lying to you. So I just say, Judge Sabree. I'm Adam Sabree.
Oh, okay. All right, Judge. So that's where we at. So I got it. Okay. Very good.
No legal advice today.
Thank you very much. All right. Well, so you came on.
Doing a little outreach.
Thank you. Thank you. Because we've got to protect the P.
And the P today is property.
Property. That's the P you protected.
That's the P we're protecting it.
Okay. So how do you go about protecting? Pray tell. How do you go about protecting property? Tell me that.
Well, I'm in landlord tenant. Let's back up.
Yeah.
So every day, I'm a landlord tenant judge at 36th District Court.
Okay.
Third District Court, you know the functions of District Court. Some of your viewers may or may not, but it's under 25,000.
That's right.
Local, we deal with domestic violence. We deal with sobriety court, traffic, landlord tenant, small claims.
That's right.
And general civil, and criminal and felony. But I'm in the landlord tenant.
Okay.
So I'm doing evictions every day. Not evictions, but landlord tenant cases. And I'm seeing complaints for non-payment of rent, requests to retrieve the possession of
their property because somebody's been in there who hasn't paid.
Or maybe you haven't paid. Maybe they're just in there and the property is purchased. No, post foreclosure.
Oh, really?
Mortgage foreclosure, tax foreclosure, or sometimes squatters.
Okay.
Or or a family member passed, probate, hits. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
Right, it is a lot. So I hadn't even thought about that. So you're telling me.
And land contracts.
Land contracts where somebody's reneged on the deal.
Or property values just doubled or tripled. And hey, you're on your 58th of your 60th payment and
I want to increase it.
I want my property back so I can sell it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so, I mean, everything's not so
black and white. Right, so
dark, but that happens too. So protecting your properties.
That's if you have properties. That's if you have I don't want to say wherewithal, because everybody does not have property, and I don't necessarily know if everybody needs to have property, right? But
right.
What's your position?
Do what you can manage.
Do what you can manage, right?
And I think it's good to have some piece of real estate, because whether the value is up or low, it's a tangible piece. Like you can set up a tent if you have to on this piece of property, or do it. You have something tangible. Everything else is personal property.
Okay, so then you have something that you can go to. So, but in the meantime, it's an expense. If you got a piece of land and you're just holding on to it, you've got an expense because you got taxes you have to pay on it, right? It's got to be making you some type of money.
It's a holding expense.
It really is.
And then sometimes it becomes a burden.
Absolutely.
Or a liability.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then not only do you have taxes, you got to have maintenance, meaning you got to keep it up if it's just a piece of land.
Or you're a burden to the community.
Right.
Or the state. Or the city may take it.
Right. So should everybody have a piece of property?
I mean, I would say, yeah. I mean, in Qatar.
Qatar meaning.
Look, when you graduate from high school,
Yeah.
you get 0.8 acres. Yeah, everybody gets it. You graduate from high school. I met somebody from over there.
You're kidding.
And they invest in your business. And I mean, they have a lot of money over there, but it's not like a real crazy idea.
No, that's okay. So then what do you do with, so you've got 0.8. Oh, okay.
0.8 acres, so you can build a nice house.
You can build a house, yeah, because some houses only have it's a 0.3 acre.
Yeah, like a 0.3 acre lot.
Right.
Those ones with the heavy frontage, you know, have maybe 0.4.
And when you say heavy frontage, you mean wide?
Big front lawn.
Right.
Big backyard. You still are probably at a half acre.
Wow. So you're saying 0.8 is, you mean, when you say 0.8 is over.
Maybe build a house for everybody in your, a house, probably 2 houses.
Yeah.
And then 2, like, whole house or whatever you call it, the ones that go above the garage, carriage house.
A carriage house.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're saying, in your perfect world, in your opinion.
Okay, I like this.
All right, in your perfect world, everybody should have some type of property, some type of land.
Yeah, real estate. Yeah.
Some type of real estate. So now, let's talk about this. How should they go about getting that one piece? What can they do? What are some avenues?
See, now, that was a perfect world.
Yeah.
Everybody magically got a piece of property. Well, you got the land banks. You have the foreclosure, the auction every year. You got private purchasers. You got probate court.
Right.
You have your neighbors who would rather sell it to you than
try to
Joe Blow from Nebraska or whoever. So in the perfect world, you would want to see people owning their home.
Why? So there. So okay. Yeah. So there. Yeah. Yeah. This has to be, because I want to know, why would it be? Because let's just say traditionally they own their own home, but they don't necessarily, unless they could buy their home for $1 or $1,000, $1,500. A lot of folks have to get a mortgage, and a lot of times that mortgage is 30 years. It might be 15 years. It might be 10 years or 5 years or something like that. So now you're beholden. You're tying up that money for so many years. So tell me why does somebody want to be beholden to the bank?
Like, it's cheaper.
How is it?
Man, I feel like it's just more stable. Rent, you can be displaced and sick in 2 months. You're never going to establish.
So who are you trying to establish this for?
I don't know, my perfect world. And in the perfect world, if everybody owned a home, then I guess I wouldn't have. I have to switch dockets.
Oh, you're right. You'd have a problem.
But then people still gonna start renting, and they're gonna try to make some money. So it's really do what you want to do, but know how to do it.
Do what you want to do, but know how to do it.
If we go with that, then yes, do what you want to do, but know how to do it. So if you want to buy a house, then know what Register of Deeds is.
Okay. And what's the Register of Deeds?
The place where all property in the county is registered.
So every single piece of property in that county is at the Register of Deeds.
It's like the Secretary of State for real estate.
Okay, the Secretary of State for real estate. All right.
And I think standing timber too.
And standing timber.
I was in torts.
Really?
So yeah. I got some trees that are worth big money or something are registered.
Where?
I think so. I think at the Register of Deeds.
Oh, really? I didn't know it. So the timber and the...
Don't quote me on that.
I won't because I do not know. And that was new to me. Okay,
so
go to the Register of Deeds.
So we got Register of Deeds. So you need a copy of your deed. I send a lot of people down. They won't have their deed when it's court. It's time for court. It's the second hearing. I know you're improper. You're not represented by an attorney. Then I would just put it on the attorney. I said, why don't you have it?
Right, you know what you're
I put it out there earlier in the court proceeding at 10 versus at 11:30 when I call your case, and it's, oh, we have to dismiss this because there's no deed. No, go out to the Register of Deeds, 400 Monroe. I think it's the 6th floor. Get your deed.
Okay.
So you got your deed. people try to check the chain of title, you kind of have to know what you're doing.
You have to, because right now, what you're trying to do is prevent a person from saying, oh, this is my house. And this is my house. Say it was a vacant house. This is my house. And if you want to rent my house, you can rent my house. Then all of a sudden that person stops paying this person, and then they want to put that person out. So then they go to the court. They have to give them, what, a 7-day notice, number one.
7-day notice. If you want rent, you're showing up for non-payment of rent, 7-day notice.
Okay.
And then 7-day notice. And in Detroit, we've got, the 7-day notice, then you can fire.
Then you can file after that. So you give them 7 days, say you better pay or move. And if you don't pay, then at that point, if I'm a landlord, I get to file to say, here's a complaint for non-payment of rent and possession, or just possession.
Well, pay or move.
Pay or move.
Pay or vacate.
Pay or vacate. Now here it is. But in order for me to, if I'm a landlord, I can't just go up there. You want to say, well, how? Let me know. How do I know that you're a landlord?
Landlords are good though. Some landlords can do it, but
no, but part of it is you're supposed to have either a copy of the lease and the deed to show that you own this property. Right, because other than that, what stops them?
Proof of service to make sure that the person who's missing is not missing because you didn't give them the complaint. Or you live in the upper unit, they live in the lower unit, and you're the only person with access to the mail. Or you got it, or so.
Right.
But you see more, and most of the time, people are represented by attorneys.
You talk about who, the landlords or the
landlords?
Right, not the tenants.
Now the tenant is represented
by what neighborhood defender?
Right to counsel, the right to counsel ordinance, which is good for the tenant. You have to regulate the flow of the court, because if you're coming in and you don't know what's going on, you had eviction 4 years ago, and now you're coming in as an attorney thinking it's the same situation. You come in, sit down, you might not know that legal aid is representing this person. So it's the court officer, he's critical, he's telling me who's checked in. Oh, that's person with legal aid, this person is here. We've got check-in outside, we've got the clerk who's telling me what's ready, and then I have to, if I see you in court, what do you have? Okay, and then court officer.
Wait a minute, who were you saying that to? You saying
I'm saying that to you.
Oh, you saying that to me, the attorney?
I'm saying that to you when you first get in there, so I see where the defendant is.
Oh, okay.
And, hey, default to the call an hour after the case is scheduled. You got 45 minutes, and I run it like that because people, if you don't, then you've got issues with legal aid and plaintiff's counsel.
Due process?
No, not due process. It's not a due process issue, more a fairness issue. But they have to tell you you're representing the person.
They have to, right? Legal aid should tell.
There used to be a layup for a plaintiff's attorney to come in there and get an eviction. As long as they have the paperwork.
That's right. That's meaning that the plaintiff is the landlord who was asking for an eviction. So that's just so we're clear as to who's who. Yeah, just to make sure we're clear. Because this is, I have done landlord-tenant. I don't particularly care for landlord-tenant. I refer those cases out. I'm not doing them. They are very, it takes time. So you've got your first hearing, as you were talking about. Then from there, for whatever reason.
First hearing is online now.
Oh, is it? Oh, thank God. Okay.
First hearing is online at 1:30.
Okay.
You Zoom in, legal aid gets the opportunity to talk to you. I don't really play much of a role. I'll handpick the impropers, give them a heads up. Hey, bring this to court, tell you the court date, and let you go about your day, and then they're able to get they're basically getting inputs or doing the input, talking to legal aid, seeing if they can help.
Okay.
So when the second court date comes, there's some appearances that have been filed. Right. So we're aware that they're representing them. And then some people are coming to court, finding that attorney that they talked to on the phone. So it's just
and that's in person.
That's in person.
So how long? Your docket is long. I mean, your day has
like 50 cases.
So that means you're going what you're going from, you got to be going from at least 9 to 3. I mean, you take a break, but what?
You take a break, and then the afternoon docket ended at around like 3.
And then you got other paperwork. Okay.
Well, you can do the paperwork. A lot of the paperwork you can do because it's a lot of waiting. It's a hurry up and wait, as you know. So you'll get people in. You're here now. You have to go talk to the other side. So you have some paperwork you can do, and you process some other cases. And some days are lighter. You can put the trials and the stuff on Wednesdays. That's like our relief day.
Okay, so now you're in a situation where you came here to talk about protect your property. Now you've talked about when we go through this landlord eviction process, that is helping the landlord protect their property, because either getting a person out, straightening something out. And the renter has no property, so that's not protecting their property. So this is
they need to get rental insurance. Let's throw that in there.
They do.
That's not legal advice either. That's practical advice.
I can say it. You do need renter's insurance. You do.
That's good for their property. They don't own the real estate, but that's one thing
for their personal property.
Yeah.
So if anything happens, and then see, I've got this bill. I've got this suite. I've got insurance for inside here, right? And so if anybody comes in here and falls, I've got that covered. If anybody, that's what I'm fighting with. It was my insurer. Hartford. I'm fighting with them because there was floods back here, and I am responsible for it. And the carpet got moldy, and it was awful. I have to have a certain environment in order to function. Right. So now I'm not happy with my landlord because
imagine how that pregnant mom of 2 feels when a landlord hasn't fixed the raw sewage in the basement.
I understand. Let me tell you something. I'm dealing with the same thing. You see, part of my carpet in the kitchen area is bleached. I can't take it. Every time I see it, I get mad. But I still go and I pay my rent. I pay the lease every single month. But I'm moving. That's my remedy. I'm going to move. Because it's not quite enough to say they have constructively evicted me, which is something else we should probably talk about, constructive eviction, because that way, that kind of turns the table on the landlord. Right?
So the landlord is not doing what they're supposed to do.
Right.
They the tenant can
sue them.
Can withhold their rent too, but they have to escrow.
Right, to make sure.
Usually, it's are you going to dismiss the claim for the 80-year-old because she didn't escrow her rent to get her repaired? So that's that.
But what?
You know,
so what does she do with the money?
She's supposed to put it in the bank.
Yeah, she's supposed to put it in the bank, but what did she spent it anyways?
I mean, some people escrow.
Right, some people do.
Really, they honestly put a good faith effort up, and you can check the register of actions, and it's there. Or they show you some bank receipt. Say, hey, I have it. Maybe that's what you get every 2 weeks, and you didn't escrow, but you always have it. And but you have to fight for your rights on both sides.
Okay, so now listen.
And people are and some people throw on the towel. You can always pay or vacate.
Right.
And usually don't get a money judgment. So it's just a possession judgment. So it's a possession. You pay or stay, or if you don't do either, then a writ of eviction could issue after blah, blah, blah date.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm currently suing this trailer park out in St. Clair County because they put my client out. She owned the trailer, and they put her out. But she has to pay lot rent, and she had been paying her lot rent. Then all of a sudden they gave her a notice to quit, just to leave, for no reason whatsoever, just to go. They try to take her trailer, so I'm suing them. She's a Spanish speaking native Spanish speaking woman, older woman in her 70s. And then she had been there for 30, I'm exaggerating now. Let's say 30 years. Maybe let's say 20 years. However, she'd been there longer than a year. Okay? Established. Just put her out. So now here's a problem. I'm telling you, this is a problem. I had talked to another attorney and I said, hey, can you handle this? It said, St. Clair County, can you handle this? Because she had gone to court, and when she went to court, somehow she consented to the eviction. But they said, you have 3 days to appeal this.
4.201J.
Okay. So then I talked to another attorney and I said, can you stop this? Because they didn't put her out for non-payment of rent. They didn't put her out for garbage. They didn't put her out for anything. They just put her out. So then he tells me that he was going to take care of it. He doesn't take care of it. Then when I talked to him about it, I said, what are you talking about? He goes, I'll get something taken care of. He goes, oh, she got 90 days. I said, that was the original 90 days that she had anyways. What are you talking about? So now I can never speak to him again because he's just a clown ass. And I said it. I won't say his name, but you are a clown ass. And you know what I'm talking about.
You'd be surprised.
I mean,
I'm not saying the clown, like,
oh, he was a clown.
People do their jobs well. People take their job serious and do them well. Some of them don't do them as well. And it's people are tone deaf.
I paid him.
Tone deaf.
I paid him. Hear me. I paid you from the money the client gave me, and you didn't do anything. So now I'm going to eat it but I'm suing them as well. So I'm taking up that because I found it to be a discrimination, harassment. I'm going under Elliot Larson. I'm going under. I didn't know that was your great grandmother. Well, I'm suing.
I know Larson, but Daisy Elliott.
Is that right? Well, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. So thank you, Daisy Elliott, because I'm suing these bleepity bleeps under that. I'm suing them under the Persons with Disabilities Civil Rights Act in Michigan. So I'm doing a state case for them because I don't like what they did to my client. I'm protecting the people. I'm protecting my client from this. It's not even just what they did. And then, so now, even time she's trying to get her things out of this place, they call a police on her every time she enters. And she still has to pay the rent. So she's paying the lot rent. And every time she goes, they're calling the police on her. And she still is able to enter. It's just harassment. It's completely harassment against this 70-year-old woman. And I won't have it. Damn them. Damn them. I hope they don't get me in trouble. But I said it. Damn them. But I fight with the power of the pen and the complaint, and they have been served. So you better answer, or else I'm going to do a default. Oh, it's in St. Clair County. So, but you might know. I mean, the companies. I mean, it's all public. But my point is that on the side of a renter, don't just if you are a landlord. There's something called there is a universal law, right? There is something you just don't do people any kind of way. Because it will come back on you. It will. Now, absolutely, I don't think if you're a landlord, you should have somebody living in your property for free. That is not right. That's not going to happen. That should not happen. And then you got somebody, you go to evict them, and then they come down in your court. What does it take them? 6 months to get them out? I'm being funny. Not damn near 3 months.
3 months. It's a 3-month process.
And most people wait. The problem with the landlord is they wait.
They
wait.
We come in my courtroom. Hey,
no, 3 months.
I've already given this person 4 months.
Right.
I'm out now.
Right.
Okay. And the legal minimum is 10 days.
Right.
So I'm usually 20 days over that on stand, just without any argument. You can negotiate that on your own with the attorneys. And you kind of have to set some type of standard because, relax. You just ignore.
Yeah.
Because they want their property back.
Yeah.
And they need somewhere to live.
Yeah. So my thing is this. You knew you weren't paying that rent.
Okay.
Well, you didn't pay.
You're saying P for preparation.
P for preparation. You need to prepare. Mm-hmm. You knew you weren't paying. So what did you do? Did you go smoke the marijuana bill with it? Did you go pay the liquor bill? What'd you do with the money? You knew you had rent to pay. The house not going anywhere. The property, the real estate, the property doesn't go anywhere. That's always there. Now, you got to have a place to stay. But let me tell you some of the things that you don't have to have.
Your wardrobe.
When you don't have a place to stay. Okay?
All your property.
You can live without lights. Okay? You can honestly almost
there. You're not paying your rent. You're probably not.
You wouldn't damn sure ain't paying. You'd be surprised. But you're absolutely right.
Because, if you're doing it like that, then But if you're that organized, then you're probably gonna have a bad situation once
Something happened.
and then
Snowball.
it's not gonna happen again though. You might get in another real estate landlord tenant situation, and you're gonna be a good tenant because you're through that that rock and hard place. But some people are just that's why we're here. You have to know what you need to do. You understand what a lease. You read the terms of the lease.
Well, yeah, and let me tell you something. I didn't always walk on water like I do now, Adam.
Okay.
I used to put it up. I didn't always walk on water. I did not.
Okay.
Because I can remember living at the Jefferson back in 2000. It'd be 2000. No, I lived there from 1998, and I started gambling. This is before I went to law school. I got it together. So there's those casinos, and let me tell you something. I was 28, and I would go to that they were constantly serving me with a notice to quit. Constantly. Then I'd go out, hit a lick at the casino, and I had a damn job. I'm telling you, I had a true gambling problem. Was not good at all. And I had to disclose all that stuff. So imagine filling out the bar application. Have you had any contact? And I had to write down. I had to go down to 36th district and pull every single time because I had to disclose it. And they were like, I don't know what the question was. What'd you learn? Learn to pay my rent and do not. That's what I learned. So you had to explain certain things, right? Right, character and fitness. I had to do that. It was very humbling because I had to explain a lot of shit that I had done. So I'm not standing here on some pedestal saying you need to pay. I understand how things happen, but I didn't pay my rent because I was out gambling, and I did not know about character and fitness that they were going to be asking me about every single. But when I got into law school, I said, "Oh shit!" But now my search situation changed because I went from living in the Jeffersonian to living on Dexter and Joy Road. My grandmother had just totally different. But I'm telling you, I was living ghetto fabulous.
Had the property. You brought the property value up.
Oh, I certainly did. I'm telling you, I remodeled that house. I took those lots. So there were lots on the side of us. My mother and I bought the one lot. Then I bought the one next to that. And then eventually we bought that corner house. But what I would do is I would make sure that grass was cut, not only for the house where I live, but the lots where I live, one on the side, and even lots that I didn't own. Okay, so there's vacant lots. I cut those as well. Absolutely.
The house where the guys smoking on the porch while they cut their grass. I would just cut.
Oh well, you know what?
Hey, how you doing, man?
This is what would happen. The young boys would come over to the one vacant house, and it was burnt down in the back of it. You couldn't really tell from the front, but it was burnt down in the back. It was the corner house, and they'd be out there doing their thing, and I'd come out and say, "How are you moving in? What do you plan on doing with the landscape? I've been cutting the grass for you. What do you plan on doing?" And then they would kind of ignore me. Then I go back in. Then I come back out with my Bible. And I said, "Well, let's just read the Bible together." I go out there.
As I cut the grass.
They didn't even live there. They was just hanging out there. Bub's like, not on my watch. You're not going to do this. Because this is Dexter. And it was like, I'd like to say.
It's like, drop a couple. I have a plot of tomato plants. Why don't you guys just put these in the ground, and when you come and hang out, hit them with some water.
They weren't.
And they'll grow.
They weren't there yet. But what I did is I deterred them from coming.
They need to get to that point.
We should already be at that point because you should where you live. Point, but that's a mentality. So then that becomes to how do I protect my peace? And that was my peace. I was in law school. I was in law school, and one thing that I needed for my peace was to live in an environment that was beautiful. And how was I going to do that? I had to make it happen. So I cut the grass. I went through and remodeled that house. I mean, it took time, but I could see. I had to demo it. I demoed it. Then I went to, I did everything that I could do to make it look pretty. And I remember somebody coming up to me and saying, because I was planting tulips, and somebody said, "Well, why do you own that?" I said, "No, I don't own it. It's a family house." "Well, if you don't own it, why are you doing all this?" I said, "Because this is where I live. And I need to have my peace of mind that where I live looks a certain way."
Man, somebody dumped so much trash. I don't know where. I saw a dumpster, like a regular rollout trash dumpster. It's just like, you see the tracks in the grass. I don't know where this dumpster. I don't know if it was a dumpster, if it got dropped off. It's just a pile of garbage.
Just dump it.
Where? Driveway.
At your house?
Yeah, as the driveway.
No, that's so rude.
And I left it for a day out of just disgust, but you gotta clean it up.
You gotta clean it up. You got to. And that just, so that is a person with a disturbed mind to me. Because why would you want to live like that? Why? Why would I think it's cool to come and dump garbage right in your driveway? Your driveway, okay, what if they had dumped it just in front of the house? I mean, did they think about you having to come out of it? Does your house look like an abandoned house?
No.
Maybe that's why they did it.
I think he was taking stuff that wasn't his and got to the point where he was going to either empty it out or moved it, consolidated everything. So I guess I don't need stuff.
That's just so.
I can't figure it out. It's a mystery.
Yeah, let's living in the ghetto. But see, I was making my place ghetto fabulous. That's what I did.
I cut my grass.
I would cut my grass too. I would have a self-propel, and I would get out there in my little. I looked almost.
But a vet, you were.
No, I don't like this. You know what? What do the auto people wear? The mechanics. I had that long blue
coverall.
The coveralls on. I mean, you couldn't tell if I was a boy or girl. I guess I was transitioning to some shit because I really was. But I would go out there with a little skull cap on, even if it was hot outside, because I wanted to protect the hair. So I'd have my hair, but I didn't wear a bonnet. So I had a hat on, had these coveralls on, this long mechanics outfit with the long sleeves.
I don't say, all right. Should I or should I not say something to someone walking in court? And then
That's not proper.
Just a question.
That's not proper. I mean, we want to, but
I've mentioned it once or twice. You know what I mean? It's case by case, but you don't want to embarrass somebody too.
So what are they calling it? A hat?
I just think people are a little too casual. That's really, I can care. I'm gonna assess the situation, but I think the bonnet is too much. And then the guys with the bonnet.
The guys with the do-rag, and they have a bonnet too.
I ain't saying do-rag. Do-rag is
inappropriate as well.
It's inappropriate, but it's Allen Iverson era inappropriate. That's my level of inappropriate.
So maybe they trying to bring the
bonnet. People aren't going to be discussed. Talk to somebody, I don't know, in high school right now. I don't see anything wrong with it. But I mean, I was teaching some of these high schools, and if you had dreads, they put the bonnet on, and it threw me off. Seeing kids in the hallway walking around with bonnets on, bonnets and Crocs.
Okay, well, Crocs.
I'm cool with Crocs. I mean, everything has its place. I'm not a bonnet hater, but that clearly struck a nerve with me. I think it's inappropriate to come into court with a bonnet.
I will never come to court with a bonnet on. I can guarantee.
I'll treat you fair, but
I will not. I'm gonna look you in the eye. I will never come to court.
Don't go to the airport.
I will never go to the airport with a bonnet on. I always come dressed because when I first started traveling with my daughter, I would get her a little outfit. And in fact, we're going to show a picture of it because she was like 3 years old, and I had her in her little dress, and then I had on my little dress. And it was mommy and daughter going on a trip, and that's how we would do. So even now, when we go somewhere, I was like, okay, what do you wear to the airport? You got to think about those outfits because we want to look, just present a certain way.
Yeah, and present. And I'm okay with the athleisure, but
it's not in this house. No, we don't do it at the airport. We don't do it because there may be
you just pack a suit like man. I'm going to Florida for 2 days. What do I need a suit for? You should wear a suit here.
You got to be ready.
But this doesn't take much. You
know what? That's the difference in our ages because that's how. And then I'm not your father's age. I think he's older than me. He's got to be older than me. He's got to be older than me. But I'm older. You're my brother's generation. Because I'm a 70, so I know I don't look like it. I am 54. I do look good today. I should stand up for the people.
You listen to Ice Cube and Prince. I mean, nothing wrong with Ice Cube or Prince. But it was like you heard it when it came out.
Yeah, I did. I absolutely did. So wait a minute. So now we're going to, because we're talking about this but there's something else. So I told you how I protected my peace when I lived on Dexter and Joy Road. And that was by making sure where I lived in the surrounding area was nice and neat. I loved it. So if you went
Dexter and Joy Road.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that you weren't too good for Dexter and Joy Road.
Hell no.
I think that's something that like. It's one thing to aspire to live somewhere. You can always live a certain way. You see what I'm saying? So
that's all in your mind.
You're in the smallest of the house or the biggest of the house. You could be a big slob, or you can be a neat freak and take care of stuff, and appreciate what you have. So it's a little bit of trying
I lived in a 2-family flat that was empty. The upper flat was empty. So at the end of the day, it was a 6-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2.5 bath. Yeah, 2.5 bath because there was a lavatory in the basement house. I had 3 lots. So it was a house. There was the lot that the house was on, plus two on one side and 2 on the other side. I actually had thought about they were introducing the concept of container housing. It's like, oh my God, we could have a container house here. And I was thinking about, maybe we could dig a tunnel in. I thought maybe a pool house. I wanted people to come.
Dig a tunnel too.
Yeah, I thought that was some cool shit. I really wanted to do that, okay? And then my parents ended up coming. So then I left and got married in 2007.
Game changer.
Yeah, it changed my life.
No. So
it changed my life. And then I moved out to Redford. So then I went from
So your parents were over there at that point?
My parents were not. When I left, they weren't there. Then they eventually came over to Dexter. They left the University District and came over to Dexter. Okay. And then at that point, by the time they got there, my marriage was not going that well. And I ended up, I moved out to the aviation sub.
The aviation sub.
That is Esper, Joy Road, Wyoming area. Beautiful area. Okay, beautiful freaking area. Just a gem of Detroit. I lived there for maybe a year, and then I ended up moving with my daughter, and I moved back with my parents on Dexter. Now,
was Donald over there at the time?
I don't know. I don't remember. He might have been over there. He might have been.
I was over there a few times.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw you.
Yeah,
I was
cabinet full of computers.
They probably would stay a cabinet full of computers somewhere. A lot of things are happening over there. But I don't think he was there because then, and he might have been there before I got there with my daughter. Yeah, in fact, he was not there. And then my mother asked me to leave, and she gave me a notice to quit after 4 years.
Process.
Oh, she did, and I was not going to be in 36th District Court arguing with my mother. I said okay, and I was out within. And it was so weird because we had a cruise we were going on, my daughter and I. And then she had a dance recital, and I had all this stuff. And then I had to move because I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want that. So I found a place, and I called. And this is how I got to Livonia. I went to apartments.com, and because I needed a place to move quickly, and that was a place. It
worked.
It worked. I mean, I had moved within 2 weeks, and then I made sure, because this is who I was and who I am. When I moved all my things out, I had movers and I had cleaners. So everything was nice and neat when I left. Very cleaned up, very nice, very neat, very thoughtful. And then they moved me out to Livonia. And then they set all my things up, cleaned everything for me, and set all my stuff up.
They should put that on your credit report.
They should. Well, they should, but I don't. And that's where I, and I'm telling you, I've been there ever since. And then people say, well, why don't you go buy? And so that's why we were talking about that earlier. I wasn't really interested in buying because now I don't have to shovel snow. Number one, I don't have to. If anything happens, I call them and fix it. In fact, the heat had gone out. The heating unit had gone out. I called. They brought a little space heater in for me. I said, okay. I wasn't concerned myself about it because I was leaving the next morning for Vegas. And then when I got back from Vegas on Saturday, the heat still wasn't on. I said, what the fuck? As much money as I paid? There better be some fucking heat back on.
0 to 100.
Oh, I did that quick. That quick I went. So the next thing I know, the next morning I got a call saying, it's all fixed and everything's fine. But then they left trash outside.
Footsteps.
Then that took me to a whole.
When they came in.
Oh, no, they didn't come in. They did everything from outside. And I said, how dare you leave this trash out here? I'm not getting it up. I refuse to. Somebody better get out here and clean this up. And certainly by the time I got back, it was all cleaned up. And as if nothing happened. So I like the convenience of it. I am a 54-year-old woman. I'm not trying to be shoveling snow. I'm not trying to be delivering garbage. So I don't want all that. I want the peace. And then I'm going to be retiring soon. I don't know when. And I'm truly a nomad at heart, right? I want to be.
Get you a Sprinter van.
No, I'm probably going to go over to, I don't know where I'm going to move to. It won't be Jamaica. I don't think it'll be Jamaica. I really like Fiji.
Like Morocco. I know somebody
I've been to
in Morocco.
I
got them a nice little spot off the water.
I want to have a spot off the water. I want to wake up in the morning. I want to praise the Lord. And then when it's time for me to go, I might just walk off into the water and just be done. I mean, I'll be like 100 and something.
Like,
so,
it's not
like Moana's my grandma did.
Okay.
Right? That's how I want to do it. So, but I want that peace. So I've got peace where I am now, and it works for me. It really works for me. Now, I still have a little, something here and there.
So if you aren't where you want to be in life, what would you suggest that somebody does to get their peace of mind?
You got to have a plan. And so in order to get a plan, you have to have your mind together. And that's why I tell everybody what I do. Now, what do I do? Every morning I wake up and I meditate. Okay. I lay in bed, I meditate, and I do the Dr. Jose Silva method of mind control. I do that. From there, I roll over because it's just me. I roll over, I pull out my nightstand, I pull out my journal, and I start to journal. And first thing I do, I thank Jesus for waking me up. Okay. I say, thank you, Jesus, for waking me up. And I say, God is my source. I live in abundance. And then I write about whatever else. Are they come to the office today? I will make payroll. I pay my bills. I write down everything that's going on with me, right? That I can think of right then and there. And then I end it with, let's make it happen safely. Safely. Because I just want to be able to come back. My goal is to leave. I feel like one of the birds. Birds have to go out and hunt and whatever, or a lion, you got to leave your den, go out, hunt, come back. I just want to come back safely. Right? Then, after that, I put my feet up against the wall, I do a static stretch for 4 minutes. I have my feet up against the wall, leaning on the floor. I stretch. Then from there, I do some other stretching just to get everything loosened up. But what I did was, you got to stretch. You got to keep it together. But from there, I just bought a vibrator.
So why is that on?
Yeah, so I've been standing on that and shaking.
Oh, that's fun.
Okay.
They're on TikTok.
They're on TikTok. I bought it off the TikTok shop. So I've been doing that. I think I don't have that, but I bought 2 of those vibrating plates. I have one here in my office.
See the energize?
I mean, I'm already energized. It feels good. Yeah, I mean, you get this whole shake and shake, 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 shake. So I do that. Before that, I was doing a little bit more strenuous exercises and more strenuous stretching. Now, and I make my bed. I make sure I make my bed. So now I feel good.
Okay.
What? I've meditated. I mean, that's prayer. That's what it is. It's a prayer.
Reflected.
Yeah. I've journaled, made my bed, and I've exercised. I've done 4 things in the morning. I feel good. I feel excellent. So whatever happens during the day, and everything doesn't always go my way here, but I've done that. So that's how I protect my peace. All right? That's how I do it. Okay. And that's when you get in that place, maybe when you're journaling, if you start journaling, it'll come out as because you're thinking about the things that you want to do. You're thinking about how you want to accomplish it. So that's how you got to have a plan.
And in the morning, there's a peace of mind. Nobody's blowing your phone up. You don't have the baggage of the day. You just woke up. And then you just pray. Put something in your belly.
I haven't eaten yet. I haven't even eaten yet.
I'm taking a sip of water.
I do take a sip of water because I keep water by my bed.
Maybe a boiled egg on the stove if it's the weekday.
Oh, that's what you're doing. So I'm pretty
much you. I'm praying when I wake up. I'm stretched because my back
exercise.
I'm finally back to not being in pain, so I'm stretching.
Okay.
My Instagram algorithm is all back pain.
Oh, that's what
extremities.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But no, so I'm stretching. I got some good stretches. I stretch, and then by the time I finish, boy,
so you wake up, you take a sip of water.
Mm-hmm.
You
they say
pray.
Sit down. when you drink water. Did you know that? Said it runs to your body differently and processes better
Oh, really?
rather than standing up. Just learn that.
Okay, well,
Maybe it's true.
I've
maybe it's
never
not
paid attention to it, but it's
true.
okay.
Now it's on your radar.
It's on my radar what to do. So now you sip water, you stretch, you eat, and you pray. You make your bed?
Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't make your damn bed. Because you ain't talked about your wife yet. Where is she? You making bed while she's still in, or she's up already too?
She's at peace. She's so
Peace too.
I'm not disturbing her peace.
Okay, very well. That's
tiptoeing around.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
that makes
I'm
a
up
peaceful
earlier.
household.
I'm up earlier, and I'm not waking anybody up. They want to wake up. Wake up. Got it under control. If it's sleeping,
But so I'm gonna tell you this. I think that if a person does the things that we've just mentioned, the things that I've mentioned, they do that, you won't have a job in a landlord tenant, because it will change a whole lot of things.
Yeah,
It will change a whole lot of mentalities. And guess what? You're gonna pay that rent, or you're gonna be preparing for how do I do this, and you're gonna make sure, because part of it is that you want to do right by others, and you're going to pay.
Well, look, if you're at peace, like you said, you'll start preparing, paying. You think,
Yeah, and the money will come to you.
People come in raging on both sides. So it's not about the money. This guy's got the money, or maybe it is about the money. You're not getting what you expected on either end. I expected to make $600 or $1,600 off of this property per month, and my spreadsheet is off. And maybe it's not killing me. It's not going to displace me as a landlord, but
This wasn't what he was
expecting. And then this person was sold a house, was rented a home that they thought didn't have issues or thought would be fine over a heavy rain, or didn't think the neighborhood was as loud as it is, or, so, yeah, everybody's got their responsibility.
Well, and what about the person who was using their P for rent? Have you ever heard those stories? That I was not supposed to pay in cash. I was paying with P.
With the
With the P.
patronage.
Maybe a provocateur.
Okay.
So you've never heard anybody
look,
has ever come up?
Never explicitly
said that way.
They're not going to tell me that. They're not going to put that on the record. I don't know what's being said in the hallway, and your court officer is going to be like, man, he'll give you an indication that maybe something is
a little bit more to it.
Yeah. But I really don't want to know. But yeah, I can assume
It's a quick pro quo.
that usually, if they see me, it goes bad.
So what do you don't value that P to the rent payment? What do you do?
You can't credit it.
You can't credit it. You can't credit that P.
It's not. It doesn't spend legally in all 50 states.
Okay.
And what 49? Fit one.
Okay.
Or is it just?
Well, I think it's Las Vegas. Well,
even this whole state.
No, not even it's just a part of it.
Yeah. So maybe.
So don't use your P for that. Don't use your P for that.
Las Vegas tenants.
Yeah, but
that's probably they may be. That's landlord tenant judge in Las Vegas. So they probably give you a whole different story.
But maybe they don't, because maybe I think it's really regulated.
It's crazy that they don't have the best education for them to have that amount of revenue.
From the sales of P?
I mean, no, not from the sales of P.
Oh.
Sales of all the gambling, and it's like
they're not putting the money there.
Yeah. Where they putting it?
I'm sure there are people with nice houses and jewels. They're just putting in material things. And they should be putting it back into the youth, into the future, because the youth is our future, and we need
and people are going to be growing up bitter.
Why?
You don't take. I was bitter of your generation.
Why?
Minus whoever. Your generation helped me get a scholarship, but it's also you look back like, man, they could have helped all of us. I'm talking about like you got coaches, and then the generation below me, they should be bitter at us because, or they shouldn't be bitter. Okay, get over it.
Yeah,
I think bitter wasn't the right word.
Yeah, why?
But
Better.
when you get older, you realize that people probably, or they went above and beyond. It's more so thankful, but when you get in a position where you can help, and you start helping, you're like, man, you all can come with me to the next, go talk to some kids too. Everybody should be doing their part.
They really should. Now I'll tell you something. This week I'm
glad that.
Yeah, you got to do it. Okay. No, we aren't bitter. I ain't got nothing to be bitter. I'm good. You're not bitter either. We've got good lives. Life is good. I was able to speak to the Black Undergrad Law Association. And now this is what happened because I tell everybody, just show up. Just show up. It's at the University of Michigan. So number one, I am a graduate of the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, and they asked that someone sent me an email asking me, would I participate in speed dating for attorneys? And someone said, yeah, I read it. I thought that would be cool, but I didn't respond. Then I got a second email saying, oh, Attorney Dionne Webster got to leave. Would you please consider coming? And it's, oh, of course I will. And I said yes. So then I went, and I'm going to show a picture of it because I took a picture with some of the girls, with the young ladies, or with the women. There was women and men there. I don't know what to say right now, but I was there, and I took a picture with them. With the individuals. Esteemed individuals and our youth. So now here it was. They said the other attorney who was supposed to come didn't show up. And I said, it's just about me. Oh, I'm ready. So then I became the presenter.
Okay.
And then I gave my story about what I did and how I got here and all of that. I encouraged them because they are superior because they went to the University of Michigan.
Superior to what?
To all of you. The University of Michigan. I said it. Thank you. Yeah, that's how we were taught. So we have to maintain that. So that doesn't mean the rest of you aren't okay. You are fine. But I'm just saying it's the University of Michigan. So now it felt so good to be able to do that part. And I'm happy I listened. Why did I listen? Because I get up, I meditate every day. And part of my meditation is saying that I'm learning to increase my intelligence by attuning my sensing faculties. That means I'm able to, hopefully I'm able to sense things and pick up things, right? And something said, go, listening to that voices within you. That's what I'm constantly practicing. Something said, go, and I'm so happy I went. Then the next thing I know, I got a text, or not, somebody DM'd me through my lawyer page on Instagram and asked me that I want to speak to colleges, be a college speaker. And I said, absolutely, I do.
You're going to love it, too.
I'm not going to be teaching classes. I'm just going to be a speaker.
No, just enjoy engaging.
Yes.
Somebody, I had a day off. I went to Davis Aerospace. I need to start preparing to speak to the students, but it's fun.
That's what I'm saying.
To see you.
That's what I'm saying.
That it exists,
And then I've got a book coming out. I'm writing a book. Yeah. You know the name of the book?
Protect the Bee.
Protect the Bee. You got it. Protect the Bee. Bingo. And it's going to be, I'm looking forward to it. I've hired a professional coach to help me write it, to help me with the organization of it. I mean, it's already been written because it's based on a lot of ways. Well, this is what it is. I've journaled throughout my life in different periods of my life. So I've got a journal entry from when I was 17.
Okay.
When I did not protect my pee.
Your pride.
No.
No, your
did not
provocativeness.
I didn't protect it.
All right.
Okay. Did not. But when I protected at 54, I swear to God, it's protected at 54. And they still want it at 54. It's true. Very true.
Padlocked.
Another P. Protect the padlock.
So what are we leaving our your listeners?
Yes, ours. Yeah. Are you having a good time?
I'm enjoying it.
You should. You're welcome. Really?
My brother wanted to do. We were supposed to do one. We're still gonna do it, obviously. He was like, "Oh, you going on another podcast?" I said, "No, she called me an Uber, man." That's all. That was a joke.
Oh, she called me an Uber, man.
Mary, that was
Okay.
the poor delivery on.
Yeah, man.
Let's just edit that out.
Well, we probably won't.
All right, so look, I'm enjoying it.
You should be. You got to spend time with me. One of Donna's sisters, because all had crushes on us. I don't blame you. It's very true. And now you actually had something to talk about.
Yeah, something to talk about. And then what we plan on talking about, we ain't really.
We did. Well, that's what this is about.
Because this is more. And then you got to leave people with some tasks.
You need to start meditating. You need to start journaling. You need to start putting some work in to get to where you want to go. You've got to do that. If you don't do it, it's not going to work. I mean, you're going to constantly be in a situation. So you're going to be focusing on dumb shit. We don't want people to focus on dumb shit. What does that mean? That means trying to find your happiness in somebody else. Okay? So
or something else.
Or something else.
Because there's some lonely folks that
on something else.
Grip that Mercedes-Benz steering wheel a little too hard, you know?
Okay, so something else. So I say, let's find it within, and that's what all this is about. Protecting your P, protecting the P. And what can that do for you? Because what it'll do for you, will have it so that I'm not calling somebody drunk in the middle of the night, drunk texting. You see what I'm saying? If I change the way my thought process, I'm changing the way I interact with others. I'm changing my whole existence.
Trying to find a word.
For P?
P word.
Peripheral existence. There we go. All right? So that's what we're doing. But I'm happy you came. And we did an hour.
We did an hour.
Yeah, we did. Well, we did it. We said 50.
Daddy duties.
Yeah, do daddy duties.
Oh, yeah. That's a daily thing.
That's a good thing. So here you are, a father who is actively involved in your children's lives.
Sure.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's totally what's up.
I think a lot of people are, if they're not, they just need to.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna leave it.
I think that'll help. But if you teach these children and youth, and even if because sometimes dad is not around because dad is not alive.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
No fault to anybody.
Right. No fault to anybody. So that's what I'm saying. We got to teach them this. It has to come from within. It has to come because you might have a mama who's not alive. You might have they're just
or everybody's not mentally there, or they're going through the hardest part of their life, or
exactly. So that's
pick up the cousin every once in a while, feed the other friend, get them McDonald's too, all that.
We don't eat McDonald's.
We're not eating McDonald's, but if
they just had a listeria outbreak or something, some people died.
My neighbors are great McDonald's franchise.
Oh, well, good for them. I'm happy for them.
If they have an outbreak and you can't eat McDonald's, you can't eat McDonald's. But
I don't eat at McDonald's because I consider it dog food.
See, make Burger King.
No fast food. Now,
Chick-fil-A, but
I don't eat even Chick-fil-A.
I ride with McDonald's.
I don't ride with none of it. But now, let me tell you something. I will go to the supermarket. I went to the little market today on Orchard Lake in 10 Mile, and I swear to God, I bought this baklava. I don't know who made it. It's delicious. I ate the hell out of it. I ate all of that, okay? So I'm not saying I don't. I just don't.
If you had to eat one fast, if you're on that road stop, you haven't eaten, you're stuck on the road.
And I see something, and I know it's going to mess me up.
You're at the pit stop, and it's like Burger King, KFC.
Oh, well, I would eat some KFC, those little wings, original recipe, and believe it or not, I'd eat White Cat. I'd eat White Cat, and that'd really mess you up, right?